Welcome to This Week in Racing, where we take you behind the scenes as we cover races around the world. This week, Logan, Claudia, and I are going to talk about a race that is not only one that's like near and dear to us, but one of the premier races in the world for a lot of drivers. It takes a team and a crew working around the clock, literally 24 hours straight, just to have a shot to win. And even then, you're within milliseconds of the team ahead of you. It's crazy. It's the North American endurance race. It's the Rolex 24, aka the 24 Hours of Daytona.
That was quite the intro, and you definitely did the race justice, but I can't wait. The race is in January, and so to say that it was probably my favorite race out of the year is a bold statement considering the other ones that we did, but it was just so unique. I think the fan aspect is insane. The drivers are amazing. There's so much crossover between series, which we can get into later, and it's brutal too. Like, it's so much fun, but you are really braving the elements and the time and exhaustion, but it's all worth it. So I can't wait.
I know, I'm so excited. I feel like it's such a fun one to kick off the motorsport season, like, a little intense that the 24-hour race is, like, the first one of the year, but I'm excited to be there on the ground this year.
Yeah, and Claudia, you didn't do it last year, but Logan and I were there. We did the full 24 hours, and people don't realize like Daytona, Florida in January does not mean 70 degrees or whatever that is in Celsius. Like
Yeah.
it was winter coat necessary weather at night. It was t-shirt during the day. Like wild temperature changes. Staying up the entire time is a race in and of itself, and you're not even driving the car. Like it's crazy.
I remember all of us being so underprepared. I think I went to Bass Pro Shops, like, 20 times during that 4 days I was in Daytona.
Not a bad place to shop.
Not a bad place at all, and as a Canadian, that is an insane store, let me just say, and I loved it. So, can't wait to take you, Claudia.
Well, we thought we'd take a different tack to the show and bring you behind the scenes with us each and every week as we're either getting ready for a race weekend like this, or as we're coming back from one and recapping what did we see, what did we do. We're going to have a lot of interviews with different drivers from different series, some XF1, some crossovers from other sports car racing. It's just a really jam-packed weekend from a driver interview perspective. We're also going to be following Myers Riley around for the 24 hours, literally to showcase what is it like when you do this. So we're really excited about it. Let's take everyone through what did we love about this race last year? What are we looking forward to this coming year? Kind of things we're about to see or do. And then next week when we come back, we'll let you know what we did. We'll show it to you.
Yeah, I think for me last year, one of my favorite things was just seeing the access, and I think that that was kind of my first time besides being at IndyCar races, just being so close to the cars, seeing the drivers, seeing them interact with the fans, and all of that felt so special for such a huge race for us to be so close to drivers that in a different series sometimes you can't really get close to. I thought that was an insane aspect. I think it's so fun as well to see all of these different drivers coming together and being paired on the same teams when normally in their regular seasons they're competing against each other or wouldn't even be in the same car at all. So I loved seeing that. I thought it was so fun. And the Daytona International Speedway is just a crazy circuit as well. It's massive. Like, I felt so tiny being there. Felt like an ant. It was crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, like, the actual circuit track situation itself and the views, like, the sunrise, the sunset, the fireworks, like, just seeing the fans there. I think that part's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fireworks were amazing. Watching them from the grandstand, like, you get the best view in the house, you can see the cars going around. It's also, like, it's not a lame fireworks show. Like, sorry, sometimes it'll be like, "Oh, plus fireworks," and it's like 2 little ones go off and you're like, "Alright, that
Where
was a
do you
waste of
go?
time." Yeah, here, it was, like, at Daytona, it's insane. It's maybe, like, 5 to 10 minutes long, but they're gorgeous, gorgeous fireworks. It's so awesome, and, like, the F1 movie did not exaggerate it.
Like knowing that you start the race in the afternoon, you get the evening, which was one of my favorite moments. We'll talk about it in a bit, but like seeing the sun setting and the cars are just sort of warmed up and really getting after it. And then things quiet down in the night. You've got the fireworks show. Overnight is this weird, it's not quiet, it's not silent, but it's sort of silent in a way. Like the place feels asleep. And then it comes back to life. And then come the morning, you're just nonstop, nonstop till the race is done.
Yeah, it feels almost like dystopian. It's chaos, and then the fireworks almost signal, like, the end of the day sort of thing. It's like you're either staying or you're heading home to get some sleep or something because I think they go off around 10 PM, And so, yeah, Greg and I stayed, and the rest of our crew headed to the hotel. And we went through the RV park and met so many different fans. And that was a really cool experience as well, because I feel like later in the year when we went to Indy 500 and stuff, we were really exploring this notion of like tradition within fans coming to races, coming with their dads, their grandparents, all of that. And Daytona was definitely like the start of my experience with that. And I think same with you, Greg, where we got to see people who have been coming back to the same like camping grounds for the past 10 years, 20 years. They have a tradition of burning a couch, which is the most insane thing we've ever seen.
Yeah, there was a campsite. You remember this? They had a generator running and a sim rig on a projector in the middle of the field, and behind the sim rig was a couch being burned, and the guy who was burning it would periodically jump into the fire pit. He was totally fine. Don't try that at home. Don't even try that at the Rolex, but it was cool to see. Claudia, you got all this secondhand because we were at the track. You were remote. Like, what did you think? What surprised you about this whole thing? Seeing the footage and the story start to come through.
I mean, it was just crazy. I feel like that was also the first time that I'd ever followed an IMSA race, like, period. So being able to see all of the cars, like, go through and, like, seeing the opening ceremony with, like, all of the drivers and all of the flags, like, that was one thing that really stood out, is seeing how many, like, nationalities were there. But I, like, honestly didn't, maybe a silly assumption, but expect it to be such a huge event. Like, there were so many people, there were so many fans. It was just really, really cool on all angles to see. I think it's always special to, like, be able to not just edit, but also see IRL, like, all of the different cars that are racing. Like, people seem to not realize, like, it's all of these different kinds of cars at the same time. Like, they're not going in different stints. So that was pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm excited to see all of the different drivers. Like, that's one thing that also stuck out, like, just seeing all of the footage from last year, is how many crossovers there are from different series, and I just, like, can't wait to see them all interact. Like, you'd never imagine some of these guys being teammates, and being able to see them there racing together is pretty awesome.
Yeah, like these are just a few names. Basically, I think moral of the story is if you want to see your favorite driver, go to this race. But there's Alex Palou, Scott Dixon, Christian Rasmussen, and those are just IndyCar. Logan Sargent, former F1 driver who was just announced to race for the Ford Racing WEC team in Hypercar in 2027. He's going to be there. Romain Grosjean and Frederick Vesti. And so people who are kind of ingrained in all of these different series, F1, IndyCar, WEC, they all come for this race. Like, it's something that every single driver loves and at some point in their career hopes to do. And we've got a sibling duo this year. We've got Pietro. He's going to be Pietro Fittipaldi. He's going to be racing with his younger brother Enzo Fittipaldi for Pratt Miller, which is amazing. And when we chatted with Marcus Ericsson, he was saying it's his dream to do it with his brother Hampus, to do the 24 Hours of Daytona one day. So it's definitely like a bucket list race, not just for the fans, but also for the drivers.
Well, speaking of all the different drivers that are there, there's many that aren't actually here this year. And so we wanted to know, obviously a short list of big name F1 drivers. We want to know, which of them would you like to see compete at the Rolex 24 in a future year? Is it Max Verstappen? Is it Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton? Or let us know in the comments if it's someone else. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe so you can get more videos just like this every time they drop.
One of my favorite parts of the weekend was the interview that we did with the Porsche Penske drivers and Pratt Miller. That was lots of fun to watch, and it's always interesting to see the teammate dynamics behind the scenes, especially for drivers that, like, might not work with each other all the time.
It was cool to get different perspectives as well. Like, we had Matt Campbell and Mathieu Jaminet on the Porsche Penske team, and they've been teammates in the past and they race really well together. And so they kind of understand how each other work and what they both need to do to make sure they're successful and stuff. And then on the other hand, we've chatted with James Roe, and it was his first time doing this race and doing an endurance race. And he was saying how he was really leaning on his teammates, who were Pietro Fittipaldi, Chris Cumming, and Callum Ilott at the time, and asking questions and trying to figure that out. And so I can't even imagine how difficult the switch would be going from an individual race where you're in Indy Next, in James's case, like focused on your own race, no teammates, or there are teammates, but your teammate is really your biggest competition. And then going to the opposite end of the spectrum where you're racing an endurance race and you have to work together with these guys.
Also, it was just really interesting to hear about how they prepped for the races, and also, like, obviously they each get time off to, like, rest in between their stints, but it's not a lot of rest that's happening, and I feel like you don't actually realize that when you're not there and, like, hearing the noise and probably feeling the kind of adrenaline that they're perpetually under for 24 hours.
Yeah,
I think
like
everyone we've spoken to, they just say 0, like,
yeah.
no one sleeps. Like, if they sleep, they're lying kind of thing. And because you haven't slept, you're emotional. Like, everyone is just on edge after that point. You're all stretched thin. The number of people I remember people talking about, like, how they would cry at the end of all this. Like, in a good way, it brings out all the emotions that maybe an hour and a half race where you just kinda show up, maybe you win, maybe you lose, and you go home. It's just different.
It really makes you wonder why these drivers and everyone involved want to do this so badly and why everyone keeps coming back year after year because it really is like one of the most physically and mentally demanding things ever, I think. Yet it doesn't it doesn't scare people away. Everyone wants to come back. It's a dream race for fans to attend who want to try and do the full 24. It's a dream race for drivers, engineers to be a part of. So it's interesting. It's interesting when we're thinking about it, talking about how cold it was, kind of how miserable it was occasionally, yet we can't wait to go back again this year. So there's just something about it. And it's kind of this feeling of like you're all in it together, which is great.
We would be remiss if we didn't talk about Nick Tandy because this is one of the cool things that you just don't realize. But at this race last year, he became the first and only person on the planet to have won every 24-hour race, like major 24-hour race there is. So Le
Wow.
Mans, Nürburgring, Spa, and then Daytona.
Yeah, like, what are the chances? It's already hard enough to win one race, like, being able to do it at all of them is pretty insane.
We'll hear from him this year, so that's exciting. We're going to sit down with him and we'll ask him a bit more about that whole achievement and what it means to him. So stay tuned for that one. That's it for this week's episode. Comment below with anything you want to see from us from Daytona. And while you're there, consider becoming a channel member so you can get early access to videos, bonus clips, and more. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.